Have you ever heard of a soil that's so incredibly rich, so fertile that it just stays that way for thousands of years? Well, this isn't some natural fluke. It's a man-made secret from the heart of the Amazon, and it just might hold the key to a much healthier future for all of us.
So this is the big mystery we're going to unpack. We're talking about a part of the world that's famous for having really poor tropical soils, where heavy rains just wash all the nutrients away. So how on earth did pre-Columbian societies create these pockets of supersoil that are still productive centuries later?
Well, it's called Terra Preta, which is just Portuguese for black earth. And what's truly mind-blowing is that this isn't just some thin layer on top. Oh no. In some spots, this incredible, totally man-made soil goes down 6 feet deep. It's a lasting monument to a kind of agricultural wisdom we've almost completely forgotten.
Now, to really appreciate the absolute genius of Terra Preta, we've got to look at where we are today. Because frankly, our modern food system is facing a massive soil crisis. And the difference between then and now, well, it's pretty stark. This right here shows a completely different way of thinking. You see, industrial agriculture basically treats soil like a machine. You tim it up, you pour in synthetic stuff, you plant one single crop. And over time, that just completely degrades the soil. But regenerative agriculture, which actually shares a lot of principles with the folks who made Terra Preta, it sees soil as a living, breathing ecosystem, something you have to feed and nurture with organic matter and diversity. And look, this isn't just some environmental problem, this is a huge human health crisis. The way we farm is directly connected to how we feel. A food system that's built on dead soil produces food with fewer nutrients. That contributes to this rise in chronic diseases and, you guessed it, absolutely staggering healthcare costs. It really proves that our health is literally rooted in the health of the earth. So how did they do it? How did ancient Amazonians manage to create this black gold? Well, the secret, it lies in one simple but absolutely crucial change they made to how they farmed. The critical difference was all in how they used fire. You see, instead of burning everything down to ash, which, by the way, sterilizes the soil and releases tons of carbon, they smothered the flames. They would heat up organic material in an environment with very little oxygen. One way is destructive, the other is profoundly regenerative. And the result of that whole slash and char method is this incredible type of charcoal we now call biochar. It's made through a process called pyrolysis. And here's the kicker. Unlike compost, which breaks down pretty fast, biochar is incredibly stable. It can stay in the soil, doing its job for literally thousands of years. Okay, get ready for this because this number is just wild. That pyrolysis process creates a structure that is unbelievably porous. To give you some perspective, a single gram of biochar, just 1 gram, can have a surface area of 9,000 square feet. That's almost 2 basketball courts. This gigantic internal structure is exactly what makes it a super ingredient for soil. So how does this amazing structure actually work its magic? Well, first, it's like a sponge. It grabs onto water and nutrients and doesn't let them wash away. Second, all those tiny little pores become a luxury hotel for beneficial microbes, giving them a safe place to live and thrive. And finally, because it's so stable, it's a permanent upgrade to your soil. It's a one-time investment that pays off for centuries. All right, let's connect the dots. Let's trace the line from this ancient soil science directly to your own health and well-being, because this connection, it's way more powerful than you might think. This simple sentence is the whole foundation of the system. Healthy living soil isn't just about growing bigger vegetables. It's the absolute starting point for our own physical and mental health. It all starts with life in the soil. When we add something like biochar and other organic goodies, we're not just adding stuff, we're creating the perfect habitat for a huge, diverse community of bacteria and fungi to absolutely flourish. And that thriving community of microbes, that's what makes nutrients available to the plants. So a more complex, a more functional soil food web means that the crops grown in that soil can suck up way more minerals and compounds, making them far more nutrient-dense. And here's where it gets really personal. When we eat that super nutrient-dense food, we're not just feeding ourselves. We are feeding the trillions of microbes that live inside our own gut. A healthier diet from healthier soil cultivates a healthier internal ecosystem for us. And the benefits are just astounding.
The research that's coming out is showing more and more that a healthy gut microbiome has this massive impact on everything from our immune system and physical health to our mental clarity, our mood, even how long we live. It is a full circle system of well-being.
Now, the best part of all of this is that this ancient knowledge isn't just some cool history lesson. We can use these exact same principles right in our own gardens, right in our own communities, to start building real food security and better health from the ground up. So, creating a modern version, what some people call Terra Preta Nova, is actually a pretty simple four-step process. First, get your hands on some good biochar, and please, I'm begging you, never use barbecue charcoal briquettes. They have toxic binders you do not want in your soil. Second, crush it up a bit. Third, and this is the most important part, you have to charge it. We'll get to that in a second. And finally, mix it into your soil or compost at about a 1:9 ratio.
I cannot stress this enough. This is the absolute golden rule. Raw, uncharged biochar is an empty sponge. If you just throw it into your garden, it will immediately start sucking up all the nutrients from the soil around it, and it will basically starve your plants. You have to fill up that sponge first. And charging it is super easy. Honestly, the best way is to just mix it into a fresh compost pile. As everything breaks down, the biochar just soaks up all those nutrients and microbes. But if you're in a hurry, you can just soak it for a few days in something nutrient-rich, like compost tea or a diluted liquid seaweed fertilizer. Easy peasy. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit, from our own backyards to our communities and, well, beyond. This ancient lesson, it really offers a powerful new way to think about our relationship with the planet.
When you get right down to it, Terra Preta is living proof that humans don't have to be a destructive force. It shows that we are actually capable of interacting with our environment in a way that creates more fertility, more resilience, and more abundance than what was there to begin with.
And that leaves us with a really important question for the future, doesn't it? As we rediscover these amazing regenerative tools, how do we apply them at a community level to improve our collective health, our mood, our food security, while at the same time making sure we don't fall into that same old trap of hypergrowth and exploitation that created this mess in the first place? It's something to think about.